He was there.
Good morning, Dr. Sahani sir. You have to unmute, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Manilalji. Very nice to see you in your days.
Yeah. It's very good to see you, sir.
Yeah, I'm also delighted to see you after a long time.
A long time, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. I am welcoming I am Dr. Manilal, Principal MNR Homeopathic Medical College, Sangareddy. I am welcoming all to the webinar. Today's our faculty is Dr. Sahani, sir. Well-known faculty in all over India and abroad also. He was the former chairman, Education Committee, Central Council of Homeopathy, former member, Central Council, Education Committee, Central Council of Homeopathy, postgraduate coordinator, GD Memorial Homeopathic Medical College Hospital, Patna, President, Bihar Voluntary Health Organization, member, Academic Council, Homeopathic University, Jaipur, honorary advisor, the Indian Journal of Classical Homeopathy, Calcutta, visiting professor to various homeopathic medical colleges in India, Secretary General Homeopathic Science Congress, expert panelist and reviewer of syllabus and question paper of Uttar Pradesh Public Service Commission. He has presented papers in India and abroad in various journals. Some of them are evidence applied aspect of mental rubrics in chronic diseases, evidences of clinical application of mental rubric in chronic diseases in All India Homeopathy Congress, and he presented papers in International Homeopathy Congress of Calcutta, West Bengal Homeopathy Congress Calcutta, World Congress Stress Management Kulan Bangladesh, World Congress The New Age Integrated Medicines for the Third Millennium in January, Colombo, effectiveness of rubrics with the single remedies in homeopathy repertories in the treatment of chronic diseases at Tornado, qualitative education in homeopathy at 66th World Homeopathy Congress, New Delhi, applied homeopathic drug transmission in cases of hypothyroidism case study during Second World Homeopathy Congress at Mosul at Bangkok, Thailand, panel discussion and homeopathic educations in Kolkata, chairperson in the session of treatment and Homeopathic Medical Association of India, Kolkata, slide for Charcha during All India Homeopathic Science of Congress in May. He has assignments of the Chairman, Education Committee, Central Council of Homeopathy, STL Secretary, the Homeopathic Medical Association of India, STL Secretary, National Environment Science Academy, Patna, Secretary General of the Homeopathic Medical Association of India, 2 terms, President's Rotary, Patna, Professor, Bihar Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Patna, Member, Regulation Committee, Central Council of Homeopathy, Member, State Board of Homeopathic Medicine, Bihar, Patna, Chairman, Homeopathic Literature Committee, Central Council of Homeopathy. He is the recipient of award nationally and internationally. Kent Award by Homeopathic Medical Association in 1990, Hahnemann National Award in 2001, Best Teacher Award, Dr. Mahendra Singh Award in 2016, Lifetime Achievement Award at Cancer Institute, Kolkata, 2011, Lifetime Achievement Award by Research Society of Homeopathy in Jodhpur in 2015, Lifetime Achievement Award by Cancer Institute of Homeopathy, Kolkata during December 2019, Award of Excellence 2007 in Center for Advanced Studies in Homeopathy, Award of Excellence in 2005, Center of Advanced Studies in Homeopathy, Doctor of Philosophy Honorary, Open University, Sri Lanka. He is the author of Principles and Practice of Homeopathic Pharmacy, Approach to Homeopathic Education Technology, organon of medicine, graphical and commentary, art of practice of case taking in homeopathy, principles and practice in homeopathic materia medica, principles and practice of homeopathy repertory, publication of various articles and in management and journals. We wholeheartedly welcome sir to the webinar session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Manilalji, for your nice introductions. It was nice to listen your voice, as dynamic as earlier.
Thank you, sir.
So, I have to start my presentations now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, start the video also. Sir, start the video.
I have started the video. It is not going there, na?
Lifestyle disorder and homeopathy. It's coming, sir.
Yeah.
Your video is not coming, sir.
My video is not coming. Yeah.
Yeah, now it is coming. Now it is coming.
Only
photo is coming. Video is not coming.
Yeah. What to do? Video is not coming. Video is not operational here. You are getting me, sir?
No, sir.
Why is video is not coming?
It is blank. But your camera is on only, but it is blank, sir. One minute, sir. I will. From here, I will. Now I will start, sir. Just you accept.
I think it was muted. My video was closed from your side, sir.
No, sir. Just I started, sir, but it is not showing.
But it is not getting displayed, sir. Yeah. I have unmuted I have opened my video. It is open here.
But we can't able to see it.
But my voice is coming now.
The voice is there, sir.
You are able to listen me?
Yes, sir.
But why this my photo is not coming?
Yes, sir.
And sometimes that time he was there.
Can we start without video?
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Manilalji, the principal of this seminar, Homeopathic Medical College. It is a wonderful opportunity for me to be at Hyderabad. I had earlier visited seminar, Homeopathic Medical College, a grand organization, big organizations, and I am grateful that I have been invited by these organizations to present my topic on lifestyle disorders and homeopathy. Friends, it is now one of the most important topic and most burning topic of our whole of the society, because we have our life and we have our style. Both the things are very important for us, the life and the style. There is a beautiful quote about this. The greatness can be captured in one word, that is the lifestyle. Life is your gift by the God. Life, we have been gifted this life by the God, and a style that what we make out of it. Now, how we are using our life, this is the important topics, and it is related to on a very individual basis. And for our homeopathic understanding, it is more relevant in the present era. Like you might have heard the Walt Disney. I always like to look on the optimistic side of life, but I am realistic enough to know that life is complex matter. We always look forward. We always look forward, but there are the complexity that it requires more completeness. So, Santi Mendes, the leading author of WHO Chronic Disease Prevention and Management Reports, Non-Communicable Disease, and he speaks like that. Lifestyle disease are an epidemic. It is coming like an epidemic and cause much greater public health threats than any other epidemic. Present day we are facing the COVID-19, and this COVID-19 is getting associated with the lifestyle, and the report coming from the different sectors, it says that those people who are more suffering from the lifestyle diseases like that of the diabetes, hypertension and the thyroid, these patients are getting more and more in the corona area. So in 1986, WHO has defined lifestyle as the partner or behavioral choice from the alternative that are available to people according to their socio-economic circumstances and the ease with which they are able to choose certain one over the others. This is very beautiful understanding coming from the WHO. And lifestyle behaviors that are usually cited are being involved in the etiology of lifestyle disease are poor diet, lack of physical activity, cigarette smoking, and increasingly excessive drinking, taking on of illegal drugs. Friends, lifestyle is not only a public health issue. It is also a medical and clinical care issue. Lifestyle medicine is not just about preventing chronic disease, but also about treating it often more effectively and less expensively than relying only on the drug and the surgery. What we are talking about, the drugs and the surgery, they are the outcomes there and some aspects, but the majority of the aspects of the lifestyle or the diseases needs no medicines at all. They need the care and the systematizations of the life. Bringing back to the natural, we are adopting the artificial, moving towards the artificial life. We are becoming more indulged to the different type of the disorders. There are many evidences that intervention is often more effective cardiovascular disease, hypertension, heart failure, strokes, cancer, diabetes, and all causes mortality than almost any other medical intervention. It is because lifestyle addresses not only risk factor modifications or the reduction. Our lifestyle and environment influence the fundamental biological mechanism leading to disease, changes in gene expressions, which modulate inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolic dysfunctions. Friends, there are the majority of the disease that we are seeing nowadays. It belongs to the lifestyle disease category, like the coronary heart disease, strokes, lung cancer, colon cancer, diabetes, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disorders. The rationale for their inclusion is that the trace mainly to imprudent the living, to change the life, the living style. This is the requirements for all of us today. Now, the resultant of lifestyle disorder, what we get? We get the non-communicable disease. And nowadays, it is becoming that are becoming more and more dangerous than the communicable disease. Treating chronic disease after they emerge is likely to increase individual and social welfare. There is obviously a limit to the amount of resources that can be spent on improving the quality of life and extending the life expectancy of those suffering from chronic disease. See, the sources of the universe are very limited. But if your desire is too much more than the resources, the problem arises, and that problem is known as the lifestyle disorder. Because lifestyle, you have to understand your own life. Until you learn the limitations, opportunity, and the resources, you will survive in a better way. By crossing your opportunity, crossing your limits will lead towards the lifestyle disorder. Many existing treatment for the relief of chronic conditions generate benefits that are valued more highly than their cost. Determinant of the health and the disease. The biological characteristics and genetic makeup of individual play an important part in determining their state of health and disease. The effects of those characteristics are often modulated by aspects of socio-economic and physical environment and by the individual interactions with such environments. At the same time, biological characteristics often mediate the effects of the latter actions. Friends, the role of biological determinants are in health is taken into account when interaction with social determinants are important. Health inequality in the individual and his biological characteristics have various layers of influences. We are so many there. When we are born, when we come across the society, when we are in the family, several layers are there where our biological character are getting changed, and group of the factors influence our health. So like what we say about the state of the health, it is the interactions between yourself with the society that is the basic aspect for the factors influencing our health states. So group factors influences are individuals' lifestyle factors, social and community influences, living and working conditions, and general socio-economic culture, environmental conditions. So all these factors mix together to create an influence, bring a change in your healthy state. What should be the health? Health is just a desired aspect. But what is the state? It is the state that comes out after your desire are fulfilled or not fulfilled. So macro area of social determinants of the health are individual behavioral determinants, that includes the your educations, social and economic determinants, supply side determinants, and environmental determinants and health system determinants. Our individual, how we behave, we are being put into the school, we are put into the colleges, our learning opportunity are there, yet we don't have the idea to learn. You only to go to the college and come back. Will you get the educations? No. You have the opportunity for earning money, but you are not utilizing them proper. So many factors that they are the social determinants of the health factors. Then prevalence of overall style of the life disease are 53.5 gastrointestinal complications are the most common, followed by the diabetes, which is 25%, and 24% are the hypertension, and 20% are the rectal problem, and 15% are the renal calculi. These are the statistics that we have been calculated, but it can be more or it can be less. Overall resultant factors of the lifestyle, what we get the stress. We get the ignorance and poor compliance to the medical advices. We are not getting the proper treatment. Why? Because the people are not able to understand the stress. The stress factors are so varied, so wide. It comes from the different factors, and it many a time the stress are not visible, whether you are stressed or you are suffering or not. Then bad diet options. Nowadays it is becoming very prominent that diets are becoming very difficult for us. We are moving toward the fast food and other things which are not healthy diet. Then physical inactivity, keeping body move. There is a lack of the balance between the physical movement and the mental movement. Then poor postures, disruptions in biological clock. Your time clock, biological clock are disturbed. You are not getting the proper stool. You are not getting the proper dieting hours. You are not getting the proper sleeps. All these factors are very get disturbed with your lifestyle and environmental conditions and occupational lifestyle disease. These are very important factors that we get. Lifestyle diseases are multifactorial in their very essence. Pharmacological targeted approach often combine chemical substances that target different factors of the disease, leading to adverse side effects of drug interactions that can be detrimental to the health in their own right, leading to iatrogenic comorbidities. Now, this is another challenge before us. We are bombarded with the medicines, different type of the medicines. For, for the smallest problem, you are swallowing so many pills and the things. So, iatrogenic effects are becoming the major issue of modern health care system. Our Dr. Hahnemann has already mentioned in it the artificial nature of the chronic disease arising out of the complexity of the disease. There is an explicit and urgent need to create and implement approaches that target the cause of lifestyle diseases incidence of the system. Non-pharmacological and non-invasive approach are most often both effective and safe. A counterpart of pharmacological invasive approaches are metabolic approaches that are multifactorial in their essence. These approaches, addressing metabolic risk factors, lying at the core of their illness and normalizing its cause instead of targeting single symptoms. So what we are doing, we are just targeting single symptoms. We are not looking for the holistic approach. So these non-pharmacological metabolic approach shift the emphasis from full dependence of medical drugs and invasive treatment towards healing through prevailing disease-free optimizations of the metabolic. So medical life aspect of the lifestyles are that is a leading chronic disease are domain of doctors and are not just a public health problem. So future of medical care. The future of medical care must be transforming the general lifestyle guidance such as eat a healthy diet, exercise regularly, that may physicians try to provide to their patients in individually tailored lifestyle prescriptions for both prevention and treatment of the chronic disease. Lifestyle is the best medicines is the best medicines when applied correctly. Changes. Now the key to the changes in social cognitions theory and concepts need to be employed by health psychologists and health professionals to predict, explain, and increasingly to under interventions to change the healthy behaviors. So best practice is most likely to emerge from the theory-based interventions that turn and inform the theory. So just you see the picture, what we need, the change. And social cognitive approaches to health behavioral changes are that social behavior is the best understood as a function of people perception and reality rather than the function of an objective description of a stimulus in the environment. We are exposed to the different type of the climate, but how we are, it is not that we are going to change the climate. We are not going to change the climate, but we have to get accommodated with the climate. We are not going to change the time, but we have to get accommodated with the time. This is the requirement. Everybody must try to look after themselves better by not smoking, taking more exercise, eating and drinking sensibly. Friends, risk perceptions. Risk is the broadest definitions, includes both positive and negative outcome and classically involves objective evaluation of magnitude of loss and the gain. Fear drive model. The fear drive model is generally considered outdated in academic health psychology, but is worth considering as it remains the central, if unacknowledged, tenets of many health promotions campaign. It is closely related to the negative concept of risk as understood by most lay and many expert populations. See, most of the time when we are exposed, when some situation like the pandemic is coming, we said, I will not get sick. This is the basic things, feelings we have. I will not get inflicted. I don't have the problem. But this is the fear drive model. Getting, not taking the situations in the right sense, finding themselves, I will not be affected. But it is those people who say, I will not be affected, they get affected first. These are the scenarios that we see. Health belief model. We always feel that we are healthy, even but most of we don't know the problems. But later on, when it gets accumulated, we become problem. We realize the problem. So health belief model was one of the first and remain one of the best known social cognitions model developed in order to predict preventive. Protection motivation theory. The protection motivation theory is often presented as a successor to the fear drive model, although most of the traditional behavior changes models can be conceptualized as adaptations of the fear drive model. Theory of planned behavior. Now it is very important that one of the identified problems with both the protections and motivation theory and the health belief model is that they assume that the behavior under consideration is solely a health behavior. And social cognitions theory, the health belief model, protections, motivations theory, and theory of planned behavior all include a number of similar constructs. Having similar construct with different name can imply a range of different determinants of the health behavior and a level of complexity that does not actually exist. Stages theory of the behavior changes. Stage theory have become increasingly popular in recent years. Many theorists have argued that different cognitions may be important at different stages in prominent health behavior. According to an all-stage theory, a person can move through a series of stages in the process of behavioral changes. So management of lifestyle disease in an alternative way, how we can do in our way. Hippocrates has said as the father of lifestyle medicines. Hippocrates, you are aware, he was regarded as the father of lifestyle medicines. He is often quoted with, let food be your medicines and medicines be your food, and walk is man's best medicines. So this is the best way, the first primary way for having the healthy lifestyle. And then Ayurveda, the science of life. In Ayurveda, life is Ayurveda is conceived as the union of body, sense, mind, and soul, and living man is conglomerations of three humors: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Seven basic tissues are Ras, Rakta, Manas, Meda, Asthi, Majja, and Sukra, and the waste product of the body such as feces, urine, and the waste. The total body matrix comprises of the humor, the tissue, and the waste product, and the body. So according to Ayurveda, lifestyle disease and disease caused by wrong ahara and vihara, the food and regime. Ayurveda intervention targeted towards complete physical, psychological, and spiritual well-being, which makes it a wonderful option to treating these type of the disorders. The concept and practice of yoga and naturopathy originated in India about several thousand years ago. It is associated with health and living lively lifestyle with a balanced approach to the life. The word yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yuj, which means to unite, to join, to add, to yoke, originate yoga typically means union between mind, body, and the spirit. And naturopathy is also the ancient and traditional art and science or science of healthy living and the drugless system of healing based on the well-founded philosophy. It integrates physical, mental, and spiritual aspects of our natural constitutions. It is the science of holistic approach of health, greatly creating a balance with the nature and positive living, which can be achieved by following the law of nature's physical physical health, the rule of good conduct, mental, uh, uh, social health, and developing philosophical attitude and practicing meditations and yoga, the spiritual health. So what we see, the yoga, naturopathy, Ayurveda, and all the alternative medicines, they are talking about the unifying of the mind, body, and the spirit. And these are the important things that we have to keep when we think about the lifestyle stuff. Now, coming to the homeopathy, Dr. Hahnemann had realized in 1797, and beautiful article he wrote on are the obstacle to certainty and simplicity in practical medicines insurmountable. He gives us some insight into the realm of disease involving the lifestyle. This article is a wonderful article. If you go through this article, here he emphasized on the lifestyle pattern that needs to be corrected along with the medical treatment. It was published he wrote it in 1797, so 200 years ago. He speaks in that article, affected by dietetic rules alone, which is, if simple, are not to be despised. He writes in the lesser writing. This article is available there, and this is called the cure. Example presented by him: deeply rooted scurvy can be cured. Warm clothing, dry country air, moderate exercise, change of the old salted meat for the fresh killed, along with the sauerkraut, cresses, and such like vegetables, and brisk beer for the drink. What would be able the use of medicine in such case to mask the good effects produced by the changes of diet? Scurvy is produced by a system of diet opposing to this. Therefore, it may be cured by dietetic course only, the reverse of that which produces it. So here he also gives you the two phenomena. You can reverse your life yourself. And he says the things which create the disease has the capacity to remove this. So law of the similar thoughts was getting created into his mind at that time. On the other hand, he emphasized that diet is not very serviceable in the cases of the chronic disease. Why should we render the syphilitic patient, for example, worse than he is by a change in the diet? Generally of the debilitating nature, we cannot cure him by any system of the diet, for his disease is not produced by any errors or of the sort. Why then we should in this case make any changes? Now diet, he says the rational use of the diet. The things, diet means the things which are damaging your health. There are certain things that that don't damage your health. So he speaks about the miasma, the role of the miasma. There are something beyond the diet, and that miasma factors needs to be corrected first. Since this occurred in my mind, he writes, cured all venerable disease excepting gonorrhea without any dietetic restrictions, merely with mercury when necessary of it. So he said that he cured the venereal diseases, gonorrhea, many of the venereal diseases with the medicines without restricting any diet. So he has got the two approach. He said about the diet as the prime factor, but diet is also for the chronic disease. There are some other factors also. Besides the exercise, there are other factors, and that those factors are invisible. They are at the micro level, and they are the magnetic factors that needs to be understood for the proper case study of the case. So Hahnemann also talked about the geographical influence. Any remedy works on the same disease regardless of the geography. Some of the remedies, most of the remedies of our homeopathy, but we are using more than the European people. What might be said of the creator who have affected the inhabitants of this earth with a vast host of disease, should be at the same time have placed an inconceivable number of obstacles in the way of their cure. So God has provided you the vast number of the disease, but He has also given you the vast number of the medicines, which is available on the entire plane of the geography. The best is to strengthen the persons by destroying disease, thus increasing one's ability to resist outside factors, often one over which we have little or no control. So I consider it much more practicable to dispel the morose idea of the melancholic by medicines than evils of the physical and moral world, or to argue him with his fancy. It is true that a person living in a poor environment will be weaker than one residing in the better one, mutatis mutandi, but this is only a relative matter of the health. The sedentary man of business seeks at our hand only tolerable health, for the nature of the things denies us the power of giving the strength of the blacksmith or the ravenous appetite of the potter. Dr. Hahnemann touches the issue of knowledge versus information. There are and the information and the equality, quality versus the quantity. The balance, our life is surviving within an optimum limit. There is the quality and they are guided by the quality and the quantity. The same substance can become a medicine, same substance can become your food, and same substance can become a poison. So it is the reversible effect, depending on the meaning and the knowledge and how you are utilizing them. You have the Naturapathicum as your homeopathic medicines. It is medicines. But Naturapathicum you are daily having in your diet. It is a salt. It is giving you the nutrients, supporting your life. And Naturapathicum, when it is taking in a different way, it is acting like a poison. And similarly, entire medicines that have been created, put into our system, they are the part of Zincum metallicum, whatever you see, they are the part of our life. And because our body, what do you consider your life? Our life is a miniature universe. It contains all the elements that is found in the universe. Our body has got all the elements that is there outside our body. So what is the quantity and quality and equational arrangement of these are important. And if you utilize them in a proper way, this was the understanding that I understood from Dr. Hahnemann's idea. I do not believe that it is the smallest of our knowledge, but only the faulty applications of it that hinders us from approaching in medical science nearer to the certainty and the simplicity. How simple it is, how certain it is, but what we are making it a complex out of the certainty and the certainty and the simplicity. So Hahnemann approach, he writes in a number 5, useful for the physician in assisting him to cure are the particulars of the most probable exciting factors, causes of the acute disease, and also most significant point of the history of the chronic disease to enable him to discover the fundamental cause, which is generally due to the chronic mild. He speaks about the causation for the disease in a number 5. The causation for the disease is not one way. It is, you have to understand the person's life. You cannot get the disease infected until you are ready to receive it. You have to become susceptible to receive the disease. This is the important message that you get from a number 5. In 224, he writes, the mental disease. not equally developed, but somewhat doubtful whether really arose the corporeal affections. Do we get the sickness from getting the sickness from the mental side? If you are too anxious, if you have a grief, it has got the impact on the body. Coronary systems, your liver, your everything are getting affected. So Hahnemann in a file number 224 writes the mental disease. It may arise from the corporeal disease, and corporeal disease, like the physical disease, can bring you the mental, so reversible side. Body, life is reflected on the two plane, mind and the body. So the mind can influence the body, and body can influence the mind. So it is two-way traffic that is going on, and we have to understand that from where the disease is arising. He also explains the same thing in the 225, corporeal disease. This is the inverse process and the reverse process, emotional causes, so many things are there. And 226, he also talks about the changing in the lifestyle disorders. And in 227, he says the fundamental cause of these cases is the soric mild. Now he explained about the soric. What is sora? Sora is just an area which is trying to invade your life with the problem. And it is happening at the physical plane and the mental plane. So in 228, he also again speaks in he speaks about the mental diseases also. So homeopathic represents the holistic approach towards the disease and the medicines. So on these medicines, we say that homeopathy is taking care of our lifestyle. We have the patient as a whole, and we have the law of the similia, and the medicines are from the nature. So everywhere it is the nature. Lifestyle is a nature, has to be natural. Patient as a whole has to be natural, and law of the similia are the law derived from the nature, and medicines are derived from the nature. So homeopathy represents the holistic approach towards the disease and the medicines. And constitutional approach towards the disease, the individualistic approach. Every patient is different than the other. No two persons are alike. No two individual people are alike. And man as a whole, he lives from the spiritual, mental, and the physical plane. This is the range of the man, and the range of the medicine. The vast range, your entire universal elements are your medicines, and their compounds in the form of compounds or as an elemental aspects and observed at the different plane of the plant kingdom, vegetable kingdom, mineral kingdom, and so many kingdoms. And applicability on equational planning. This is important. The equational planning is very. We all have the different. What individual life represents a different equation of the life. So individuality is the prime concern for the homeopathic system of the medicine. Now I'm trying to explain my idea, what we have through a case. How I used to approach a case, and this is just a simple example of one case history I am going to present before you, so that you can understand what I mean to speak about the homeopathic approach. So observation of a case. This case I have titled it as a perfume love for the perfume. A case for the dysmenorrhea. We all have a liking. Whoever want to be exposed in the society, they put on the perfumes on their body and they go out. So this is one of the approach for the as a human persons and the social interactions with the people. Now just see what happened to this lady when she came to my clinic. This was happened in 2018. This is a lady of 35 years age. She entered my clinic for consultations of the complaint of further severe dysmenorrhea. But as she entered, my whole chamber was filled with the fragrance of perfume. She was so much putting on, she had put on the so much fragrance, perfume on her body. So I thought that she must not be the patient, she must be the attendant. So as she sat before me, and so I asked him, where is the patient? So before she immediately spoke about, she to know, I am the patient, I have the problem, and I want to get the treatment from you. Then only I realized that she was the patient. Now, as she entered the clinic, we observed her to be nicely dressed, with a smiling face and good mannered. It appeared as if she had no problem and she came as an attendant only. She spoke gently. So this was the person. This was the personality. See that how beautiful she has tried to manage her lifestyle, express her lifestyle. She was a graduate and now a housewife with two children. She was actively looking after the household work, and at the same time she was engaged in social activities in clubs and entertainment programs. She was ambitious but could not pursue on it as marriage, which took place while she was still a student. She had studied well, but she couldn't go into the job or somewhere because husband was posted in the very good positions. So later on, she was satisfied that my husband is working, so there is now no need for me to work. So she dropped the idea of getting engaged into the job. She was having the acute pain in the hypogastric region of abdomen 1 or 2 days before the onset of the mens. This was the basic problem. Pain was acute in nature, cutting, and she was confined to confined to the bed and had to take the painkillers. During the mens, pain was slightly reduced, yet continued till the whole length of the period. So before the mens, the pain was much more, but during the pain it was less. But after that, it gets finished. So she was active otherwise and had no complaints. She told the pain was most depressing state and concerned what will happen with her future life. This is the important concern for us. She used to get some frontal headache and off and on, which was worse from the sunlight. This was the things that she, when I asked about her presenting complaints, she talked about these facts. About her past complaints, menarche was unnoticed. She didn't know when it started and had no other problem. Only after the first childbirth, as a cesarean, this pain is persisting. So pain started after the childbirth. Then family members, father is now old and retired from active service and no other complaints. Mother is also housewife, but she has some problem in the knee. She is 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and she is the third in the serial. She was married at the age of 25. Husband is an executive officer in the government sector, and presently she has the two children, and both are okay. Her mental state, as I told you, well behaved with readiness for adopting the new life. Her memory was active, rarely get angered, but when it comes, she behaved violently. Fear of darkness. She liked social activities, music and traveling was her favorite choice. She was formal with the religious beliefs. She liked fast food with pungent and spices. Disliked the sweets, and disliked thirst was very normal. Stool was off and on, constipated, urine normal. After the menstrual discharges, mucolicoria was coming during the rest of the period. Sleep was normal with vivid dreams. She liked to take bath regularly. Perspiration was normal, and she liked the winter season. This lady is conscious of the body and mind, had ambitions but compromised with the situations. still expresses herself with present lifestyle in the society. Lively and easily mixed with the society, as she feared of pain, she opted for the cesarean birth for her first child, where after painful menstruation developed, she was unable to tolerate the pain. Case was has no past history of any sufferings, so Sora is dominating in the whole case. Now I selected the following rubrics. If you go into the synthesis repertory, you will get these rubrics. It is the perfume, love to use perfume. This is the mental rubrics. Then she liked to travel. She was anxiety from the pain, female genitalia, pain means before and delivery after complaints. The cesarean birth was, for this I took the rubric, delivery after complaints. Then she had the mental fear of the dark, and she get violent anger, and she was very communicative. So on the basis of these rubrics, I selected, this is the choice, you see the repertorial synthesis, repertorial approach. You see the phosphorus is coming on the first lane, and then the sulfur is there. So treatment and follow-up, phosphorus was selected. I used the medicines in the transmission mode. I didn't give the medicines orally to the patient. I transmitted the phosphorus 0/1 through her hair. 24th, this was done on 2nd of the January. On 24th January, menses appeared. Pain was very less. And 2nd February, the menses next menses appeared. No pain, only uneasiness persisted. Again, we followed on with the same medicines. Case was followed for another 6 months. Now she has forgotten about the pain. So now the treatment is stopped. Now you see how I have utilized the rubrics related to the lifestyle, the perfumes, the way, the expressions, they all come from. So, and this case got cured because the soda was the dominating on the primary stage. So this case was, I wanted to share this case only because to make you understand these lifestyle disorders, you can have so many rubrics filled in your whole of the repertory, especially the mental chapter. When we go into the mental chapter, there are the wide range mental chapters. There are wide range of the in the synthesis repertory, Kent repertory, wide range of the mental symptoms, and you have to distribute the mental symptoms into the 3 categories: the emotional aspects, the will aspects, and the understanding aspects. Then beside this, you go to the different chapters, all chapters, rest of the chapter. Everywhere you will see the problem associated with the mind. Go to the head chapter. Head pain, anger from. Head pain, anxiety with. Sleeplessness, anxiety from. Sleeplessness, anger from. Face getting red with the anger. The teeth, grinding her teeth with the during the rage, maniacal rage, grinding the teeth. So how? The mind getting influencing the body and body influencing the mind. So this way, this understanding is basically related to the lifestyle understanding and the combinations of the mind and the body. This combination of the mind and body understanding is the basic things that was predicted in the Ayurveda system of the medicines also, yoga also, and in our homeopathy, it has been utilized in the form of the medicines, which are, and these medicines are so diluted that it becomes insignificant to think that any material we are giving. What about the homeopathic medicines? What about the homeopathic medicines? These are only that they are only the dynamic aspects, the spirit of the medicinal substance. No molecule is present. No molecule is present in any of the homeopathic medicines. So it is, we are talking and we are expressing our medicines through the dynamic pattern and treating the dynamic life and removing the dynamic disease. The dynamicity created by the lifestyle needs to be removed by the dynamic medicines of the homeopathy. So this is the basic approach for homeopathy for treating all type of disease, including your lifestyle disease. So typical expression of the soric phase of the phosphorus. Perfume in mind that loves mixing with the other people feelings. What is phosphorus? Phosphorus is a cosmopolitan connectivity. World is the whole family. The present lifestyle, we can observe many such expressions. We only need to observe it minutely. So I am reminded with beautiful quotes. Perfume is the key to our memory. Attraction towards the beauty needs understanding effect that may come up and the limitations of their use. The law of attraction is always working whether you believe it or don't believe it. So do not dwell in the past. Do not dwell in the past, not in the dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present motions, and the present motion is your body and your life, your mind. And you have, when you are get connected with the life, body, mind, you will get the understanding about the principle Dr. Hahnemann, which is coming from our generations, the Buddha, all our masters, the past masters, they have spoken like this. So this is the unified understanding of the life, mind, body, spirit, and everything as a whole. And this is only going to make the realistic treatment towards the medical systems. So fact of many lifestyles behavior are inhabitual rather than deliberate, and change decision will be influenced by both intuitions and emotions as well as the cognitions. So you have to be intuitive, you have to be emotional, and you have to be cognitive to become a good practitioner of the medicines. So thank you very much. With all my deliberations, I have tried myself to give you the best. And if you find any questions, you can ask me, and or you can write me on my email ID risdts@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me or the Telegram at my 9431020622. So thank you very much with this presentation.
Over.
There is a question. I'm going to reply some of the questions in short. About the video, background noise, good morning. Now, how phosphorus was transmitted through the hair? This is a beautiful question. That how you see, I have used the phosphorus 0/1 potency, that is the LM potency that I used clinically. Why I use LM potency is just only because homeopathy has this is the final verdict of Dr. Hahnemann about the potency to use them uh, uh, in the potency manner. So I take the 0/1 potency of the phosphorus and dilute in a diluted form. I insert one of the hair into it, and that is the one. I don't need to give any medicines to the patient. This is the way that I practice medicines. Potency of the phosphorus was 0/1, as I told you. So it is then eternal applications of hair. Yeah, beside hair you can use any. This is external uprooted. You can pluck it from the head and it can be used. In this case, there was no repetitions because it was the single layered medicines, single layered disease. So no repetitions was required. And there are no other, any other questions if you want. I don't know why my video is not coming, but I hope I am audible to all.
You are audible, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sir. Thank you, sir. Another question has come up. Why selected for hair through hair medicines? Now, just a brief introduction I will give. What Dr. Hahnemann talked about administration, mode of administration of the medicines, homeopathic medicines. Like homeopathic administration are so much dynamic in nature. They are spirit-like. Beyond 12 potency, not a single molecule of the medicines are present. So when you are giving through the mouth, what you are giving to the patients? Nothing. It simply go and touches your life plane. So Dr. Hahnemann spoke about the three mode. He take oral that you put into the mouth. It is in the organ foil number 283. Put into the mouth. Then you may put it on the body, apply on the skin, or you may olfact it. You can smell it and you can get. And many practitioners around the world are using this three mode. Around this three mode. This is very important for us. So, and Dr. Hahnemann also spoke about the mesmerism, the effect of the homeopathy mesmerism effect. And on this basis, we decided that let us try to transmit the medicines from a distance like our mobile system. So this is the idea. And nowadays, I have seen so many cases. This is the way of my practice. I don't give any oral medicines to anyone. Yes, sir. Anyone? I had my weekly, there is a question had of your weekly webinar, please share details. On the WebEx I have a weekly on the Thursday at 3 p.m. So you can get the link and you can join. This is every time I try to present some advanced study of the homeopathy. And for all of you, my message will be that keep learning, because medicines is not a 5-year course or 3 years of the postgraduate course. It is beyond, and it gets extended to the whole of your life. You will need to read the same medicines every time throughout the life, because every time you read the same medicines, the belladonna, bryonia, whatever it may be, you will find every time you will find the new changes in it. Why? Because the life is changing. What Dr. Hahnemann spoke about the sulfur, and how many rubrics, how many symptoms you find about the sulfur in the Metra Medica Pura. When you go to the Allen's Encyclopedia, you will see that sulfur contains 5,064 symptoms. And now you come to the Radar Opus, you will get more than 15,000. Why these symptoms are increasing? Because the life is changing, situation is changing, it is getting more and more clinically verified. So many medicines are coming up, symptoms are getting included. So why don't you need updating? You need to be updated every time. Have you heard about the love aversion to the education? Desire for the mineral water? Desire for the mineral water? Is this is important? Desire for the mineral water? Have you heard this rubrics? Mineral water? These are the rubrics coming up, because nowadays we don't take the plain water. We go for the mineral water. We love for the perfume. We love to eat the pasta. We don't like the idli and dosa nowadays. We want to have the something which is very fast. Pizza, burger. They are taking the place of your life. So why we don't must have the desire for the pasta, desire for the burger, desire for the dosa. And for the Western people, they are liking the dosa and idli. So there must be the rubrics for the dosa and the idli also. So this is important, sir, for us. So thank you very much. Any more questions if you have?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the wonderful lecture, wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You are evergreen, sir.
But you are more than me, sir.
Sir, I am your student, sir.
Sir,
Consider it as my father figure. You know that thing.
I know, sir, but what I feel, all my students are my teacher. All my students are my teacher because I learn from my teacher.
You bowled me out, sir.
I learn from my students, sir.
Okay, sir.
So
Yes, sir, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful session. We will keep in touch as previously. I will be calling you for my doubts, and I know that you will be clearing my doubts. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I'm able to listen to you, sir. I'm able to listen to you. Yes,
sir, we are going for PG and PhD. I want your wholehearted support.
I have been supporting. I'm also coming to your college right from the inception when it was not recognized.
Sir,
and
I know that.
With the entire approach that you people have done and your efforts, the karma. You are a karma yogi. This is only I can tell you about the MNR institution.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You all are the karma yogi, and definitely you will be able to get the PG courses also.
Thank you, sir.
My are there, my supports are there, my willingness is there to get the PG as early as possible.
Okay, sir. I will be coming you. I will be troubling you. I will be with you all the time. Thank you, sir.
Definitely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. On 19/9/2020 Saturday, the next session is about lifestyle and homeopathic approach in obstetrics and gynecology. We will be right back at 11 a.m. on 19th. Dr. Abhay Talwakar will be presenting the paper. Everybody is welcome for the session. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, everybody.